they were able to just pick on the entire game, take control of mid game, and grab the win.
Yeah, and of course these teams are right next to each other in the standings, and that's why we saw such a competitive early game back and forth, and then it came to who got the advantage and pushed it, because we saw Ember dominating lanes. They had that CS advantage, and then Team Dragon Knights were able to use their composition and the summoner spells with double TP to out-rotate and get there faster and create these skirmishes instead of the 5-on-5 that Ember really wanted earlier on.
Yep. Well, we'll see what happens in this champ select here. You can see Lulu Quinn off the table. Kog'Maw banned blue side. That surprised me a little bit here. I think Kog'Maw's first pick worthy for basically anything, and you just are happy to play the comp around it. Oh, well, not going to be the case here for Ember. They'll drop that champion off the field. TDK have to decide what their last ban will be here, knowing that Kog'Maw's no longer a thing. It's like, well, we get a new ban. Cool.
Yeah. Zillion, of course, being banned at Golden Glue. He played it twice, and he has not died on that champion yet, and it was very, very effective for him. Like that last ban, I actually think Kalista is a huge ban now since Ryze is off the list and you have more things to ban. Like Kog'Maw's on the list, Graves is off the list, Kalista's on the list now. So now you have the option of banning Poppy, banning GP, banning Fiora. Two of those we do not see in this ban phase.
Yep, Gangplank, Fiora both up, and they're both, well, actually, no, Gangplank is actually a great mid laner. It's Golden Glue's main, basically. Yeah. Also, of course, known as a top laner. Fiora for Seraph could be a thing. Rumble Hover right here. Interestingly, the Gragas that was so big for Crumbs is still up. I don't know why he would shy away from playing that. Unless it's a composition thing.
Yep. It's going to be a Nidalee jungle here for contracts. Yep. Gragas can get punished a tiny bit in the early game, but he's not as susceptible. I do think that like a Rumble would be a weird pick, because Rumble can get picked on. And then when he hits 6, though, he annihilates Nidalee.
Yeah, just fights her and wins.
Yeah, well, basically, you go to the team fights, and then you're just like, oh, yeah, here's the ultimate across everybody.
Yeah.
And even just, like, cutting off the backline's retreat. That's why Rumble Jungle is so popular, but we're not going to see it.
No, we'll maybe see it later. There's no rush in TDK picking up a Rumble here. We don't really see him anywhere outside of the jungle. I think he's still a serviceable top laner. Yeah. Whatever, not about Rumble right now. Lucian and Braum picked up in the bot lane. Just pretty much the same duo lane that Ember picked last game. Red side picked these two up. I agree. I think it's... you can debate that it's still Alistar, but Lucian and Braum is also one of those top tier duos to bring into the lane.
Yeah, a lot of people like Alistar just for the turret diving potential now.
Sure.
It's not as much of a safe lane. It is still very safe and you can sustain, but people who want to win the lane are now picking Braum. I think that it's a very good, just the Winter's Bite passive is now, nothing's really changed. It's just the stock in him has gone up because other supports have gone down a tiny bit.
I think it's also people realizing that he's good.
Yeah.
Right, like Rumble hadn't had any changes to how he could jungle for a very long time, right?
Yeah.
Like the Q had hit jungle comps for a while, and it was like 3 weeks into Runic Echoes, people realized, oh no, we can do this though, it's a thing. So,
well, who tries Rumble in the jungle except for Troll?
The skin is named after it. When a new AP champ, when a new AP item comes out, you try everything that has it.
After it? Or was the skin named before it? Way before it.
Wow, you're getting meta on
Way
me,
before
and I no longer know anymore. Either way, Janna and Corki picked up here for Ember. Corki flex picks really solid. Janna the bot lane, just plenty of champs coming through. We talked about Rumble for way too long. Full lineup is, no, it's fine, it's fun. Full lineup is here for Ember. Lissandra into the top or mid lane. Gangplank in the same situation. Corki 80 carry for sure. That's all known. There's the Fiora. There's the Rek'Sai actually for Crumbs. And one last pick for TDK.
Ooh. If you go with the LeBlanc here, LeBlanc into Lissandra. A lot of people actually pick Lissandra into LeBlanc just to lock her down and use the ultimate and keep her rooted. If you're a good enough player, you can W her W and stop her.
Right.
So good Lissandras are able to counterplay LeBlancs very heavily. So I want to see what Ty does, because he did play this. I believe it was his debut performance, and he went 7-0-6, and it was an off-stream game, so we didn't see it actively, but it was in that VOD, and he actually did a fantastic job on that, roaming around and giving Seraph what he needed in that top lane to snowball his Graves, and he also visited the bot lane too for OQ. So I think that his roaming potential is very high. If Golden Glue sticks with this TP, he might be able to match it.
Okay, so Ember do have a nice mix of physical and magic damage. Thanks to having the Gangplank, it would have been very magic damage heavy otherwise. They got that on the last round. Meanwhile, TDK, kind of interesting, sort of a scrappy team, really. Like Lucian Braum, a good duo lane. LeBlanc can run around and solo things, but not the same kind of team fight power or heavy pick power they had from the previous game. So we'll see if this comp works for TDK. Up against Ember here. Tweet at LOL Esports, hashtag MBR winner, hashtag TDK win for who you think's going to do it. TDK, with a win, guarantee themselves the third place spot in the regular season. They guarantee that they face Ember specifically in their first round matchup. And Heck, if you just 2-0'd them, pretty good matchup to have.
Yep, even if they're higher than you in the standings, you can't really sweat too much about that. And TDK are showing that they're versatile enough that if they take this game, there's a lot of things you have to consider coming into Champion Select versus TDK now. You have to worry about the Quinn because it's not just a Seraph pick anymore. If you counterpick a Malphite, counterpick it with Malphite, then they are able to just flex that to AD carry. And I'm just going to flat out say, not enough people play against AD carry Quinn to know really how to play against it early because those damage numbers are quite deceptive if she gets a combination on you.
Yeah, Q auto, E auto is a large amount of pain. And OQ did a great job with it, and sure enough, it got banned away. I got to see where the lane assignments end up going right now. Lucian revealed himself in the bot river, then recalled, so he will walk top lane. It's a nice sort of minor tricky play, right? You show your dual lane, LOL JK, walk to the top side. Fiora will make it down near Crohn's, but the problem is, of course, Janna wants to stop this alongside Lod's Corki, but that's warded, so they will be spotted walking forward and then waiting. And the thing is, TDK knows that Ember will try to stop them, so you can just start Wolves and nothing's going to happen to you. You can even go Wolves Gromp and just never get messed with.
Yep, and that ward will time out by then, so you'll be in a good spot. But of course, TDK do show with this.
And they're going to require the exact same action here.
Yep,
it will be a lane swap. Oh, TDK's own design. Bishu eats the traps.
Can't eat that one, though. And now he goes and he checks, steal the tiny ones so that they don't get those levels.
A lot of golden XP on those. OQ cutting them away properly.
Other side of the map, though.
Well, they only got part of the Wolf Camp. Crumbs really pushed around. Good job by Lod and Stunt to push that hard. And they will grab one of the small wolves as one of the big wolves was grabbed properly by the Rek'Sai. And they continue moving forward. Meanwhile, the entire Wolf Camp was taken over from the Ember top jungle duo. However, of course, the two small blue pieces taken are worth more than the two small wolves taken. So just a very complex trade back and forth for both sides. Worth putting out, though, is Solo has absorbed all the gold that Contract's trying to get. And in fact, I think he actually last hit one of the big wolves, actually, because Contracts is still not level 2 despite doing 2 camps.
May have split experience in a strange
Unless Bishu
way.
stole some, but I don't think he did. Actually, Bishu did walk in. We might have missed it.
Yeah.
Bishu may have stolen part of the wolf.
That's true. Bishu did walk in.
He has 3 CS.
Bishu did hit level 2, so yeah, it was probably Bishu. He may have been able to actually run immediately into lane, pick up some
yeah, he used 2 relic shield stacks, and he killed a small wolf, I think.
Yep. So that's
solid play.
The lane swap, though, most likely was started off by TDK. I think that lane swapping a Fiora is actually becoming more and more of a common thing when you are able to get your hands on this champion. I know that some teams in the LCS, like CLG, like to get a lane swap Fiora and keep that lane safe early. Because it's strange to say because she's very powerful at most stages of the game, but she is a scaler. You really want to get her to that first and second item without having to risk falling behind if you mess up a trade early.
And it's interesting, too, because I remember way back in like 2013, you would lane swap against champions like Jax, right? Deny their early gold, don't let them get into a standard lane where they can actually hit minions. But, of course, everyone's donating all the solo gold to the top laner. Look at the Seraph's going to get 345 gold. His actual individual gold numbers are basically equal to the AD carries on the other side. And yes, now he's in a freeze where he gets to farm and not get hit by much, as long as his team has the wards so he doesn't get dived. Which, of course, they do. You're seeing a couple of trinket wards down in this jungle.
Yeah, and I definitely think it's worth it when you're up against a gangplank to pull this off as well, because you're starving the gangplank of parlays and early CS. And so I think it's a good idea to do so, especially since Fiora into gangplank is one of those skill matchups for sure right now, with a little edge to GP. But his early game has been nerfed a little bit over time, so.
OQ actually missed one of the casters with that Q. Only did 37 gold, 17 each. Sadly missed a CS. Not the worst thing in the world, though. 17 gold barely ever means the game. Bishu gets the cannon minion. And down goes that final caster. So bot lane is getting pushed in pretty hard, and there's no opponents for them just yet. They walked into the lane that had Gangplank in it. And they pushed it right back into the turret. So it looks like we're having a round 2 mirrored lane swap. The dual lanes show up to knock another outer turret down. And those will be 2 outer turrets killed for both teams in the very near future. Stunt shields up Lod, plenty of damage dealt there. That should be a pretty painless turret kill. The question is, how greedy can these teams get? Because there's only so much gold to have in this top lane as you push it down. How many jungle camps can take it down? Will the junglers even show up and absorb the XP and gold? Solo's going to walk up to this lane, as will both the Rek'Sai and the Fiora. So TDK actually clearing less potential camps as the bot jungle is already clear.
Yeah, that's the big difference. The bot jungle is already cleared here, but it's not going to be a huge difference.
No.
It's pretty much the only difference here at all.
Right, so when there's very little interaction and things like this, the only way to build an advantage is these smaller things.
They're
like
going to push
the 100 gold taken. So yeah, Ember going to fully shove that into the top lane tier 2. Seraph's going to recall back. Ooh, look at that trade. Golden Glue losing a lot of health to Ty.
If you can get Seraph to this top wave, then it's a big deal. Contracts, though, looking for a gank here on Ty. There's a 6.
The flash, the ulti's going to land, and Ty's got nowhere to go. Flash wasn't even required to take that back. First blood comes through. Ty tried to flash away. That's what I meant to say.
That was...
But Golden Glue landed it regardless.
That was super fast.
Yeah.
Golden Glue hits 6 immediately, levels up the ultimate, control RR right onto Ty. Ty just tried to get away so quickly. Didn't work.
Do it. So as you mentioned, Zirene, picking Lissandra into LeBlanc, something that mid laners often like to do. And you see part of why it pays off right there. Very well played. Ember, 500 gold ahead with this first blood. As Seraph did, in fact, get all that gold up in the top lane. Bot lane was frozen by OQ. And so you can see a lot of money was not earned by LoD for quite a while here.
Yeah, I'm actually going to throw the question out there because I think that TDK, they would have benefited here because you saw the Lissandra. Instead of picking yourself into a moderate losing matchup, but even though you don't know like where Lissandra's going, I still think like picking Victor would be good.
Sure.
You need wave clear on this team in the first place.
Yeah, good point. Maybe a quick stumble by TDK and Champ Select. They had the really nice Quinn plan in game 1, and this one maybe not quite as strong.
Yeah, we'll see what Ty is able to do though, and if he can recover. Of course, it's one death, and he did get ganked. But it is always very difficult as LeBlanc to deal with the move block stopping ability from Lissandra with the R.
So let's see what comes next. Bot lane pushed in near the TDK's tier 2 turret.
Wow. Contracts has so many wards inside that red side or blue side jungle of TDK.
Yeah, a lot of vision over there. So Ember knows that they are safe to push this up without getting ganked at all. Rek'Sai, I believe, also kind of on top of a ward, slightly killing this Scuttle Crab up here as well. So Crumbs spotted, level 6 in the Rek'Sai. Already burned Farm Alarm earlier on to get back out of the base.
Yep, there's the ward.
And is going to walk over ward in a second here. Ty pushed under turret, down 10 CS. And again, Golden Glue is on his game.
Oh, that was really close too, because Golden Glue has that ultimate available. And yeah, if you're fast enough, like I said, you hit that W as you see the distortion come out, and you're able to root her, and she can't snap back, so then you're able to get your follow-up of the Q. And that auto attack. Sneak it in there.
Really nicely done. Solo, not in a great spot. 17 CS to the 41. There is a massive wave on that turret, though, and it looks like Solo will be able to be okay. I would have actually liked to see Crumbs try to feign a dive so that Solo couldn't last hit like this. There was no threat from Elise being around, or sorry, Nidalee being around. I think a slight missed opportunity from Crumbs.
Yeah, you get something for this though. Like, go do Rift Herald, go do something else with Seraph.
Yeah.
That's the flaw I see.
They're waiting for blue to respawn?
Yeah. There you go.
Okay.
So you grab the blue buff away from them.
I think they couldn't have dived easily because Golden Blue had teleport.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of a risk with Ty losing mid lane. I think they identified that that actually would have been maybe suicidal.
Yeah, there they go. Okay, so that might be the order that they're just executing in.
Yeah.
Get the blue and then go get Rift Herald. Because
yeah,
when that wave is just so far up, getting the Rift Herald is extremely beneficial, and it's pretty much free.
Okay, small risk here though. TDK need to get someone back into the bot lane pretty soon. They roam both Lucian and Braum up here to help give a little bit of security. It also gave control away to that blue buff side, so both blues got stolen.
I assume this is going to be either a fed lane to Seraph, or they're just going to throw OQ down there. But OQ, that bottom part of your jungle is no longer your jungle. That belongs to Contracts. And Contracts is roaming around waiting for somebody to pounce through that blue side TDK jungle.
TDK don't walk. They walk through one of the brush. Bishu looks for the lower one, doesn't watch for the single one right there, and does not kill that pink ward away. So everybody knows TDK is walking up here. Team Dragon Knights do not really know that they are spotted. And they look to pressure top lane tier 2. Now, interestingly, I thought LoD was going to hard push bot lane when he showed up to it, but he actually froze it here. So this freeze is denying a lot of golden XP from Team Dragon Knights. However, this top lane G2 can get hit, and interestingly, Crumbs did not ult aggressively. He's actually just farming his own jungle. There's all these tunnels on this left side of the map he could have shown up to try to knock that turret down. And instead, TDK did literally nothing with that advantage. Golden taking plenty of damage.
Oh, yeah,
nice distortion back by Ty. The Contracts goes back in and guesses the correct target. I think the hunt helped to make sure it was the right one. And they kill out the mid laner again. 0-2 for Ty.
Yeah, he also threw down a pink ward as he jumped in to make sure that he knew which LeBlanc he was getting on at that point. Good call there by Contracts. And Golden Glue throwing out the ultimate again. This is why this matchup sucks for LeBlanc.
Yeah, and Golden Glue showing you exactly how to play it. Well played to the Ember mid laner here. 1-0-1 on him.
Like, LeBlanc gets to do all these fancy things, distort around, and it's very annoying for most champions. But
says no.
It's so hard to outplay a point and click.
Yes, it is. I'm glad there's still some of them in the game. And I think there always will be. And Cassandra is one of these things that just makes you really sad.
Walk up.
QR, he actually got multiple spells off.
QR. And then Contracts jumps in. There's the pink ward too. And they pick up that kill rather cleanly. Don't have to blow too much to get it either. No summoner spells there from both Contracts and Golden Glue.
Alright, well, Abyssal Scepter now done on both mid laners. Bit more magic just to survive some of these encounters, but so far hasn't been good for Ty.
Bot lane dive.
No, I don't think so. There's no one else around. Those two can't kill him.
Here comes Stunt to try and stop this.
TDK are still trying to play the map control game as best they can. They're against the free gold of Gangplank, and they're down 2 kills with the game.
This is risky.
Only 1,400 out.
You're sending OQ top lane. You don't really know too much about Contracts location.
They have no wards at all. Golden Glue can just roam top and just kill him. Like, Nidalee walks up, puts a ward behind the turret, TP, he's dead. Nope.
Crumbs found Contracts.
And Bishu. Vlad's around to help get him away. And OQ will get this farm pretty safely, but it's always tricky farming in a lane like this. This late on where people have a lot of attack damage now. Basically, AD carries are like reasonably safe at like 2 minutes, and then around minute 20, they're like super easily killed because they've only bought damage, so is everyone else. I guess it goes for all squishies. Oh, Bishu also in trouble getting just pounced on, does get away. A lot of damage onto this Rex side, but it will be TDK able to walk away cleanly as Lottie gets a bit of poke down.
Yeah, TDK's composition, lack of wave clear is going to become a problem for them, because if you look at Ember's squad, Gangplank, Lissandra, then you have Corki, and you have 2 Siegers as well as a disengaged champion. So Ember's composition just wants to throw spears, throw rockets at you, poke you with Nidalee, and then just clear out waves over and over again. And if you jump on them, Stunt's just going to stop you from doing that. So Ember's squad is drafted fairly well this game. And TDK's not a huge fan of the LeBlanc.
They have individually strong champions, but the way they interplay is not honestly amazing. Yeah. However, they are able to just walk up the dragon. Crumbs was able to recall, heal back up, ult back into the map, and that tempo gain was enough to knock down that dragon. So at least a small advantage gained here, but it has been Ember kind of calling all the shots, and I think there have been missed opportunities from TDK. Absolutely. But Ember have landed some very good places.
If they can wrap around this Gangplank right here, they'll be able to actually pick up a kill fairly easily. He doesn't have his ultimate available. He does have flash.
Crumbs burns tunnel. Not the hugest problem. They're just walking into range, puts a slowdown solo, just trying to get some farm. He knows he's dead. Will not burn any summoners. Eats some oranges. And they're going to make sure that goes to OQ. Wearing a red buff. Yeah, Gangplank cannot outrun that with Boots 1.
He's buying time so that they're able to take mid lane turret with 3 members here.
TDK can stay for bot lane tier 2, though, I feel like.
Oh, they find Contracts?
A lot of minions. Ooh, wow, a lot of damage on him. Flash Q! Oh, the heal! He Valkyrie'd in to catch him for the summoner heal. Lod, nice play. They're keeping his teammate alive. TDK can just commit to bot lane, though. They have a 75 bonus damage AD carry and 4 people down there. With an undefended tier 2 turret. How do you not hit that?
It's a missed opportunity for sure, because OQ would be able to take it fairly quickly. Ty, though, he did have to use his flash and his ignite to try and secure that kill on the Contracts. Didn't go his way, but he got 2 summoner spells in response. But yeah, they are definitely missing out on that bottom tier 2. Keeping the Gangplank in a lane where he's got some safe farm is always questionable. Take as much as you can.
Yep. Call TDK celibate because they didn't want to hit that.
You know, in all of my years of casting, I've always wanted to make some innuendos like that, but I've never been clever enough. So props to you, Phreak.
Thanks.
And Challenger's probably the place to do it.
Yeah, that's never an LCS joke. All right, Bishu. He's a javelin to the bum. Has to walk away with his folding metal chair in tow. Contract slowly wearing this down. Eye gets popped yet again. And down goes Rift Herald. So, oh, nice. Last hit by Janna. You ever feel sometimes like Jannas have damage priority? Oh, hold on. Solo, TP.
Oh.
He's fine.
No way.
Well played by Solo. Well played. Just good job to Spidey sense. Because the thing is, like, there is literally...
He went straight top. They're just going to
That's such a good play. That's such a good play. That turret's going to take so much damage. Ty can walk over.
They're probably going to take it.
I don't think Bishu can defend this properly. Well, that wave's small. That wave's small. They're not even going to try. Okay. Yeah. Good play by Ember. And TDK, I think, smart to identify they couldn't do that. However, look at all this time that Ty walked to the top jungle. This mini wave in mid is still fighting itself with no champion interference at all.
And now he finally walks up to it.
Yeah.
So. Once again, more missed opportunities here. Seraphim used his TP to get to that bot side, and Solo recognized this is where I TP to the top side. And they didn't even go with the golden glue play of him TPing in to reinforce. Ember have structures in their sight, and I think it's definitely the right priority here because TDK, they missed a lot of those opportunities with that bot lane turret. And now they're all backing again, and Seraph is just focusing on trying to farm and stay relevant in this game.
This is the kind of game you wanted to see from Ember previously, or at least Ember fans would want to see from them. TDK fans are happy the game won with the way it did, but Ember had priority in every single one of their lanes. Malphite and Malphite and Caspi were up in CS. Bot lane got first blood. Ember could have played this exact gameplay again, and just got picked apart by TDK and some smart play by that squad. But here you're just seeing Ember really much more able to play their game, playing around the turrets. 5-2. Right, it was 2-2 in the lane swap. The game was equal, and then somehow Ember just knocked down 3 turrets.
Yep, they're able to take those tier 2s, and TDK didn't do too much about it. I definitely think it's a big wave clear problem as well, because you have so many great wave clear champions on the side of Ember, and TDK doesn't even have a single one. You have Lucian, and that's pretty mediocre later game.
Turret goes down, but be careful because the team is coming in. But ulti from Gangplank bought some time, now Bishu. A great Glacial Fissure to buy more time for his team. Dodges the Javelin. He's going to jump to his teammate, pop the Q in a contract, so one's going to come out. Scuttle Crab could tank it.
Walks around.
Has to walk around it, and that makes it much easier to dodge. TDK walk away taking very little damage. Golden Glue could have theoretically tried to go for the hard engage, but that would have been a huge risk. He didn't go for it. I can't say it was wrong.
They got the TP out of him. Didn't overextend as well.
But good by TDK to knock down that top lane tier 2. Yes. As a reaction. That's a really big deal to get some gold back in your pockets.
Yeah, it might force a little bit of TDK's hand to continue pushing up lanes, and I think that's what they definitely need to do. This squad that has so much wave clear and so much poke, when they're playing on your side of the map, then they're winning, because they have double Trinity Force that will be power spiked in just a second here when Solo is able to back and pick it up. And you have to wonder what TDK is going to be able to do if the game stays in this state and it gets later on, because they have to just assassinate somebody. I mean, there are a decent amount of squishies, but Ember have all the tools to outplay Ty.
Yes, they do. So we'll see if Ty can make this series a win. Shouldn't be against his name, but as they take game 1, we'll see if they can get another one. Ember still holding on to a lot of control in this.
4 members in the bot side versus 3 members of TDK. And you have to use the culling. That's your big wave clear tool here.
It knocks some minions down, but Ember is still able to stay for a little bit longer. They've got a couple left up. And that turret drops below half HP.
Yep. Seraph not looking for a dual mid either, just looking for the CS. And another thing about this TDK squad is the culling is pretty much your big wave clear thing, because Ty can't even distortion in because he's just going to get Lissandra ulti. Golden Glue can buffer that ability, and that's a catch. Even if he tries it, so he can't even try it.
You would require Golden Glue to play.
I guess he could try it.
Said, if you do it when you don't expect it, right, you have to have the presence of mind to hit that right away, and if you're not watching, it's understandable.
Yeah, if you're Golden Glue, at this point you're like throwing out Qs to clear the minion wave, but you're constantly hitting R on Ty just so you can buffer it and walk backwards and keep doing that over and over again.
Every time your minion wave is walking up, just hit R, right-click backwards, hit R, right-click backwards, just keep doing it and see what happens. Flash engaged by Crumbs. They want to take this fight right away. TDK under the turret and Golden Glue taking a lot of pain, but OQ goes down live with a great pickup there. TDK unable to win this fight. Gangplank ulti was there to help as the Fiora was stuck in mid lane, so that means the turret goes down as well. In addition to that one for Zero, another advantage for Ember.
Yep, Ember knocking down another turret. They have all outer turrets down now.
Wow.
And Ember just playing this very cleanly. Their draft is good, their map rotations are good right now, and they're just grouping up at the right times. And TDK are just not answering at any stage of the game.
This could be a preview of the playoff match to come here. If TLA does not 2-0 Apex, this will be one of the two semifinals. Something to watch for here. Ember, nearly 5,000 gold up 20 minutes in. Quite a good lead to have. Baron is on the map. They just take the down Dragon as well, so the entire thing is just in control.
Golden Glue dives in, ultis OQ, and then Crumbs actually started that off. So the gameplay came out right as Crumbs flashed in for a knockup. Golden Glue, yep. Nice block there. Contracts wanted to actually leap and follow, but he jumped a little bit too early, was just out of range.
Yeah, it was either too early or out of range. I couldn't tell which one, but did not get the enhanced pounce either way.
Yeah, I definitely think that TDK's way of winning this is you bush camp. You Seraph.
Yeah.
Seraph split push requires a wave clear mid laner or wave clear AD carry. You can get Corki to do it because you need somebody in that 4-man unit, 3-man unit to clear waves, and they don't have that. So Seraph won't really be opened up for split push in a less risky way. He can do it, but it's going to be very risky against the squad.
Making it difficult. Lod comes in with the package, gets a slow on a Crumbs Wells. Bishu ult comes in and Crumbs will go down. Golden Glue gets his second kill of the game. 100% KP for him, the only player on the team with that record. As they push in to catch this wave in top lane 2-2, going through the jungle. The wards were there.
TP. Yep.
And here they bring in Solo. Yeah.
He's just using the TP to get a numbers advantage. He'll give up mid-tier 1 to Seraph, but they're going to lose an inhibitor turret.
A lot of damage onto this one. Barrel Chain comes out, knocks the team away as well. Bijou on fire, has to walk out. Crumbs up in 10 seconds. That means he will not be up in time to save this inhibitor. 22 minutes in, Ember cracked the inhibs. They can walk away safely. Ty, yeah, don't you dare hit R after that. Seraph making very slow work, of course. Titanic Hydra doesn't do a lot of damage to turrets. The proc, the passive doesn't really affect it. But he finally gets it down.
Oh, Crumbs comes right into 2.
Oh, Crumbs, you just died there literally 45 seconds ago. Has to walk away. Good damage in a solo, but Gangplank still reasonably tanky. Will not knock down the barrel. I believe he parlayed it early, actually. That will be another pink ward dropped away. TDK can try to get some ward control back in their jungle, but Ember looking to death brush this Baron River. And they might just get it. Seraph and Ty have snuck through some of these wards. And they're pinging around this bot jungle right here. But the thing is, Dragon isn't up. Bot lane tier 2 is a really aggressive ask.
Oh, they're just looking for a camp.
Well, you said they need Death Brush. Yeah. Maybe they get it. Maybe they get a random pick.
Everybody's just in
But I'm pretty sure they went through a ward doing that. There's a ward in the bot side of mid lane, in that brush in the river.
Yeah, the Ember squad walking blindly into their jungle is a misplay very heavily, because you want to be in lanes with this lineup.
Yeah,
right,
they did not see TDK, but unfortunately there were no camps to kill. Contracts basically killed them all already. There was no red buff coming up. If that jungle were up, someone probably would have showed and would have gotten picked off. I mean, you have to get golden. If you get just like stop farming.
Yeah. Baron?
Yeah, it means Baron. The attempt by TDK does not mean much. They blue trigger to see that Baron, in fact, is being taken down on top of the pink ward here. So any wards put down will not stay, but Ember, lacking a true tank, cannot stay on Baron for that long, and they wisely pull off early. They know they got spotted. Golden Glue looks to the play on the Crumbs, won't get it.
Looking for the catch. They can catch anybody, but their base is dying right now. They have to send Seraph back. He doesn't even have TP available, and he's just relegated to clearing waves. And this is going to be another Baron attempt here by Ember.
Okay, they're going to try one more time. This time the blue triggers are all down. Vishu can ward over the wall, but that can be swept away before too long. Crumbs around. Smite is up on both of these junglers. Level 12 to level 13. Contracts holds the slight edge in that regard. And it just means they clear wards away and back out once again. Giant wave is up in the top lane that it has to be held by Seraphico.
So what's happening is Seraph has to clear a super minion wave, and then they start Baron. And then they pull off of Baron on Ember's side, and Seraph was running to be there because he doesn't have TP.
Yeah.
So Seraph keeps walking, and he makes it to about where the red buff is, and then Embers stop.
Yep.
And that's when the super minion wave is hit and done damage to his turret. And then he has to walk all the way back and defend it.
It means he misses some of the farm that was going to come through on that one, but overall it still disadvantage Ember, who sit 4,000 gold up right now. That advantage has shrunk, to be fair. TDK have managed to get a little bit of gold back in their pockets. That's against the Gangplank. They're actually earning gold more than their opponents. And sometimes his GP just balloons giant gold leads. That did not yet happen here.
It's mostly just that wave is going to constantly push in the top lane, so you always have a source of income.
857 gold from Parlay so far. 4,000 gold being the rough lead that Ember have earned in conventional methods. And TDK continue to wait around. And the problem is they don't have great wards. Crumbs does have Sightstone on top of that Stalker's Blade, so it is a double Sightstone team. And actually with Eye of the Equinox for Bishu, it means he has even more wards to put down. I really like that. I think it's a very good choice.
And we even see Eye of the Watcher for stun. No Frost Queens.
Oh, yeah, interesting.
I've been seeing that a little bit more.
I've been seeing it more, too, especially on champions like Janna, who don't need to really help the team go in. A lot of it's just the fact they have a Gangplank and Lissandra already. Like, there are already engaged tools.
Oh, Solo looking for barrel chains.
Ooh, double barrel hits Seraph, hits Bishu. Not too bad. Mid lane priority in for TDK. They knocked that one down first. OQ just barely, his left foot trailing behind him. Gets stabbed by a javelin. Nearly kills the man.
This kills the man. The javelin in the left foot.
Took a third of his health bar out.
It used to be an AD carry.
And I took a javelin to the foot.
That's going to be turret going down on the Nexus, and that's going to be Baron as well, so Ember might be getting a whole lot out of this play.
2,000 health on it. Crumbs wants in. Can he make it happen? The Janna ulti says no! Gangplank has killed Baron Nashor, and now the re-engage. Crumbs losing a lot of health. Javelin in, gets away from the bounce, and he gets a heal, and he runs, and Bishu runs too against his old main. The Nidalee trying to kill Bishu. It's gotta feel so bad for him, but he's still getting attacked. He's still losing health bars. The Zephyr to slow him down, and Bishu will walk away. He knew she wouldn't betray him like that. Nidalee will never let Bishu die.
The story of that fight. So nobody ends up dying in it. 0-0. And Baron, well, I guess Barons are people too.
You're darn right.
Baron ends up dying, giving over the buff to Ember. But a Nexus turret also goes down for TDK. Their inhibitors back up though, so they can breathe a little bit with those minion waves not pushing into them. But can they really do that too much? Because they have this wave clear team with Baron. It's so hard to kill these minions with the team comp that you have from TDK. And I know that it's being kind of hammered home that the draft is rather poor from TDK, but it's really
playing out.
It's playing out that way, and it's really just one or two picks here. Ooh, so good from Stunt.
I don't like Bishu's ult. It was too early. If he had stunned Stunt, they could have stayed in that pit. I mean, well played by Stunt, of course, but you got to line up the CC with the guys who can disengage you.
Stunt did save them, though.
Yeah.
Mostly saved Crumbs.
I guess no one died.
Ty was going to jump back.
Contracts. Yeah, just javelins to death brush. TDK have tried a few times, and I mean, props to them for the attempt. But
anyway, if they don't have inside track on this now, this is going to be a lot of damage on this turret.
I think turret's just dead. Think how much damage they're willing to put in here. There's not that much threat that TDK can really pose. Down to 1/4. Down goes the turret itself. 9 turrets to 4. Now the ulti onto Seraph, and wow, she is gone. Fiora is dead. The team can push forward. Lod has to be a little bit afraid of what Lissandra can't do anymore with the ulti down. Ty can do some real damage, but into the mid lane they go.
And this looks like Ember trying to close out this game. They only need one more turret left, and they could be looking at second place here.
That's going to be it. They're going to knock all this down. They will knock down that second turret. Now the Nexus itself is available. Ember will take it. They'll go 1-0 with TDK. 29-minute win. And now TDK await to see what their seed will be based on how Team Liquid Academy versus Apex goes. Ember, for sure, number 2. Apex, for sure, number 1. Then we have to see. They will be in playoffs, TDK, but will they be 3rd or 4th?
Exactly, and TLA doesn't even know if they're going to be in playoffs just yet with those 2 squads, Dream Team and Enemy right below them. And Apex has been looking good, so if Apex 2-0 Team Liquid, then that could be a big problem for that squad, and they may not even make playoffs. So a lot of implications here throughout the day. So we know 3 of the teams, 1 more to be decided.
And that's going to be, I believe at this point now it can no longer be Dream Team. Dream Team cannot make playoffs because even if they 2-0, TLA already 2-0'd them in the season, so Dream Team we know are out of playoffs because their only way in was a 3-way tie.
Well, TLA has 4 points, and Dream Team and Ember have 2.
Oh,
or
I'm
Enemy
so
have
silly.
2.
I'm so silly. You're right.
If they tie, then
you're right.
Yes.
I
TLA,
forgot about
TLA win 1 game.
No, you're right.
Then Enemy's the only one who can catch them.
That's right, because the tiebreak scenario is TLA gets a tie, and then Enemy 2-0s, and then they tie. I apologize. I had my information wrong. That's my bad. You're right. So we still have 3 teams in that running for that 4th spot. TLA against Apex is a tough matchup. TLA, honestly, should almost expect a 0-2. I mean, I said that coming in for Ember versus TDK as well, so maybe that's wrong, but I'm already jumping forward because I'm so excited to see what this playoff picture is.
We'll wrap up this game.
Okay, let's do that real quick.
Because the draft I thought was really not cohesive from TDK. If you're going to run a split pusher, you really do need a wave clear mid laner. I think Victor would have rounded this out a little bit better. And at the end of the day, Seraph on that Fiora did 722 damage
to champions
total.
Yeah, that is low.
Very low. It almost rivals Ball's number when he was a split push threat and nobody wanted to deal with him. But this was Ember.
Everyone could ignore him.
Exactly. This was everybody going, oh, well, he could just do his thing. He'll just continue to push. We have way more wave clear, and they can't stop our siege on TDK's side. So they exploited the team composition. Ember drafted intelligently with disengage, multiple siegers, and also team fighters. So I think that was a really, really good draft there from Ember, and that could be a preview of the matchup that we'll be seeing in playoffs.
Absolutely true. And on the other side of the bracket, we're going to see what ends up happening for Apex's opponent. Could be TLA, could be Dream Team, could be Enemy. We'll see what that matchup ends up being because we keep it tuned right here. When we come back, Seda will be joining Zirene to take down that Game 2 between Team Liquid Academy and Apex, so stay with us. Taking plenty of damage. Nice distortion back by Ty, but Contracts goes back in and guesses the correct target. Flash engaged by Crumbs. They want to take this fight right away. TDK under the turret and Golden Glue. Taking a lot of pain, but OQ goes down. 2,000 health on it. Crumbs wants in. Can he make it happen? The Jet ulti says no. Gangplank has killed Baron Nashor, and now the re-engage. Crumbs losing a lot of health. Javelin in, gets away for the bounce. The ulti onto Seraph, and wow, she is gone. Nexus itself is available. Ember will take it. They'll go 1-0 with TDK.